Let's talk about the smallest species of pufferfish in the world, and it is fully freshwater. Today we're going to talk about the pea puffer. Today we're specifically talking about their diet and what to feed them to keep them happy and healthy long term in your home aquarium. I will base all of this information on this article above. First, I'm going to tell you something you've probably never heard before. Juvenile pea puffers under 3/4 of an inch are omnivores, not full carnivores. Adults are carnivores though, and a little under 30% of juveniles' diet is typically algae, with half of it being brown diatom algae and the other half being various forms of green algae. And this is probably why so many people have had issues breeding them in the past. It's because people are not feeding them enough live organisms that feed on algae, such as Daphnia, copepods, and Infusoria. They need algae-eating invertebrates in their diet so that they get the micronutrients they need. Their diet is the hardest part of keeping them. They are prone to nutrient deficiencies. This is because they're a bottom-feeding scavenger that preys on a wide variety of food items. And let's go over the prey that they eat in the wild in order of how much they eat of it. First, they prey on insects like dragonflies, mayflies, and aquatic bugs. Second, they feed on microcrustaceans, which include Moina and Daphnia. Both of these two categories make up about 18% of their diet each. This is then followed by segmented worms called annelids, which include species like bloodworms. These worms made up just under 15% of their diet. Then juveniles, as I mentioned, they also preyed on algae, with brown algae such as diatoms making up about 14% of their diet, and then various species of green algae which makes up roughly 12% of their diet. And finally, the smallest component of their diet was called miscellaneous and made up roughly 10% of their diet. This was mainly detritus, but also included some sand and sediment. It is also worth noting that most of the time their stomach was half empty or more than half empty. They were not a fish that fed very heavily. This means they do not need heavily fed in captivity, and that can actually be detrimental due to fat storage in the liver as a result. If you're going to do it once daily, as I believe you should, only feed until their belly is slightly rounded. It should not be bulbous or distended ever.